So now it's time for the assignment. If you've read ahead, you'll already know what it is. But basically, what I want you to do is exercise your theological, ethical, social justice muscles with a choice. I'm not going to say you all have to do the same thing. So the context is that you are at diocesan convention and you are on a committee addressing one of three issues: either immigration reform, um, minimum wage, or the investments, the diocesan investments in the endowment fund. And so you are on the committee that is going to draft legislation or a resolution that will go before convention to address one of those three issues. You will want to argue for raising the minimum wage, or against it, I suppose, if that's what you would rather do. We almost all have investments in our diocese in endowment funds, and a lot of times those can be questionable because they aren't looked at, or they're very profitable, or there are other other complications. DU, for example, has a lot of money in some of its investments in the Newtown mining industry. And that's problematic. It gives us a lot of money, but it's problematic because of some of the environmental degradation and the stuff that goes on with indigenous peoples that are around those mines. And so there are movements afoot, for example, at DU to divest from the Newtown mining stuff. So you can choose what investments might be logical for your diocese. The minimum wage already mentioned. Immigration reform has stalled at the federal government. I know it affects all of us in different ways, all of our states in different ways. And so we would like to move that forward. On the other hand, it's not like the situation that I was in when I was in the Diocese of California, where pretty much every issue was passed by voice vote because we kind of knew there wasn't going to be any opposition. But those of us in the Intermountain West know that our states and certainly our dioceses are mixed bags. And so the argument that you will have to make will have to be strong. It will have to be theologically strong, but also draw on the best traditions of our social justice background in the Episcopal Church, the Anglican tradition. So as I note in the instructions, you don't have to craft a resolution in all of the formal ways, whereas, and furthermore, therefore be it resolved that we, the members of, you can do it that way if you want, if it will help you organize your thinking, and it might, but you don't. Mostly what I'm looking for is, let's say, a theological rationale that might precede the formal text of the resolution. So you can do it any way you want. Resolutions are not long because they need to be sort of on one sheet of paper that you can put down in front of a delegate. But you want it to be clear and convincing. So if you've got any questions, please let me know. I hope that this is clear. I think you've probably all seen resolutions in one way or another. Also, I've provided some resources. I get emails from one of our U.S. senators, Michael Bennett, and so he's got some information on both immigration and minimum wage. You can go ahead and take a look at. In terms of immigration, the Diocese of Maryland has developed a pastoral letter. I've included a link to that. And then for the minimum wage issue, I've included a link to the Department of Labor statistics, so you can see where your state is in terms of the minimum wage vis-a-vis what the federal, the bill that's before Congress right now is asserting. So I don't expect you to go into all of the the technicalities and the details of these issues. I'm more interested in how can you bring our tradition to bear on what really can be seen as social justice issues, and not easy ones, but certainly in the Episcopal Church, contestable ones.